For Pacifica Radio, I'm Christina Onnested. President Donald Trump has signed 4 executive orders, one requiring training for the National Guard to quell civil disturbances. Another bans the burning of the American flag, and 2 end cashless bail systems in Washington, D.C. and across the country. Christopher Martinez has more.
One order directs the Department of Justice to investigate flag-burning incidents and to prosecute the flag burners. President Donald Trump says flag burning incites riots and, in his words, people go crazy.
And what the penalty is going to be, if you burn a flag, you get 1 year in jail.
The order contradicts a 1989 Supreme Court ruling that protects flag burning as political expression. The executive order instructs the Attorney General to challenge the 1989 ruling. 2 other orders aim at ending cashless bail.
They kill people and they get out. Cashless bail.
One order ends cashless bail specifically in the District of Columbia. The other order directs the Attorney General to identify jurisdictions around the country that have cashless bail and revoke their federal funds. And then there's a 4th executive order. It directs the Defense Secretary, Pete Hegseth, to establish specially trained and equipped National Guard rapid response units to quell civil disturbances in cities. Trump's use of the military in U.S. cities has sparked outrage among many, including Democratic governors like Illinois' Governor J.B. Pritzker. But Trump dismissed Pritzker as a slob, calling Illinois a killing field.
And they say, we don't need him. Freedom, freedom. He's a dictator. He's a dictator. A lot of people are saying maybe we like a dictator.
I'm Christopher Martinez.
Experts in constitutional law say the executive orders all run afoul of the U.S. Constitution, and the National Guard training for civilian oversight runs afoul of the Posse Comitatus Act. The governor of Illinois and other state leaders spoke out against President Donald Trump's threats to deploy National Guard troops to their state, the city of Chicago specifically. Pacifica's Sophia Reyes-Elfini reports.
This is not about fighting crime. This is about Donald Trump searching for any justification to deploy the military in a blue city, in a blue state, to try and intimidate his political rivals.
Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker raised the question of why Republican states and cities with higher crime rates than Chicago, like Memphis, Tennessee, or Hattiesburg, Mississippi, are not being targeted by the Trump administration. Violent crime in Chicago dropped significantly in the first half of the year, representing the steepest decline in over a decade, according to city data. Shootings are down 37%, and homicides have dropped by 32%. Chicago Democratic Mayor Brandon Johnson.
Chicagoans are not calling for a military occupation. They are calling for the same thing that we've been calling for some time, and that's investment. What safe cities across America all have in common, they invest in people, and that's what we're doing in Chicago.
Mayor Johnson also called on the federal government to release the $800 million for violence prevention funds that were stripped away in April. This is Sophia Reyes-Elfini.
Large-scale protests in Israel, a day of nationwide action called by families of hostages held in Gaza, demanding Israel end the war in Gaza and secure the release of hostages. Meanwhile, 3 more Palestinians have starved to death in Gaza from Israel's blockade. Though it's now allowing some aid in, 303 Palestinians have starved to death in all, including 117 children. Today, Israeli strikes killed 54 Palestinians, according to Al Jazeera, citing medical sources. The United Nations has condemned Israel's killing of 5 journalists during a strike on the Al Nasser hospital over the weekend in Gaza. 4 healthcare workers were also killed, including about a dozen other people. Stefan Dujarric is a spokesperson for the United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres.
These latest horrific killings highlight the extreme risks that medical personnel and journalists face as they carry out their vital work amidst this brutal conflict. The Secretary General recalls that civilians, including medical personnel and journalists, must be respected and protected at all times. He calls for a prompt, impartial investigation into these killings.
According to the United Nations, more than 240 journalists have been killed in Gaza since the war began. The House Oversight Committee Chair Republican James Comer of Kentucky says President Donald Trump's former labor secretary and one-time U.S. Attorney Alex Acosta has agreed to testify about his handling of sex offender and pedophile Jeffrey Epstein's sex abuse and trafficking case. Acosta oversaw what critics call a sweetheart deal with Epstein when he was a U.S. attorney. That deal shielded Epstein from federal charges in exchange for a guilty plea to a single state charge. Comer's also subpoenaed Epstein's estate for the reported birthday book that includes a note from President Donald Trump of a figure of a naked woman that reads "Happy birthday and may every day be another wonderful secret." Trump is denying he wrote it and suing the Journal for $10 billion. I'm Christina Onnested reporting for Pacifica Radio.